Last night, my friend the member for Blackburn and my friend the member for Perry Barr attended a film showing by Al Jazeera at a cinema nearby here. And that film was of raw, very raw footage of the behaviour of Israeli soldiers in Gaza, about destruction of life and about the appalling death toll of children, particularly across Gaza. And it showed soldiers cheering when they'd managed to destroy an entire Palestinian village. It showed pictures that were devastatingly realistic in the horror they showed of the torture against Palestinian prisoners being held in Israeli prisons. And after that, we had a question and answer session with a number of people, lawyers, medical people, and so on. And the doctor who was there described how when she tried to enter Gaza to act as a doctor, she was restricted to one suitcase. She was told she had to bring in 3 days' water supply. She was told she had to have her own personal security. She was told she had to have a car and a driver with her at all times in order just to undertake her work as a doctor. And she said there are very few hospitals working in Gaza. The conditions are appalling and abominable. And many doctors are now not working in Gaza anymore because they simply cannot get in, because Israel controls all access and exit to Gaza. And so this small number of very brave and wonderful doctors that were working there are now being forced to go elsewhere. And so what this film showed was the way in which Israel's occupation has been directed entirely towards the destruction of Palestinian life, Palestinian buildings, schools, roads, hospitals, and everything else. I've never forgotten going to Beach Primary School in Jazeera refugee camp many years ago. Wonderful school, wonderful place, wonderful children. And with joy, these children sat down and read, through translation, the poetry they'd written about their lives, their hopes, and what they wanted to achieve. And then we went onto the roof of the school, and you could see the fence on one side, and not that far away you could see the sea. And to the north you could see Ashkelon. And you could feel the sadness in their voices as they said, we're never going to be able to go anywhere. We're never going to be able to travel anywhere. We are forever prisoners in this school and our homes. But at least at that time, they had homes and a school. I've seen the footage and seen the films. The school is totally destroyed. Many of those children that I met who were so happy in those days are now deceased. Famine is there in Gaza. It is registered as a famine around the world. Polluted water, inadequate food, inadequate medical supplies, absolutely appalling situation. And so we have to, yes, demand all the aid that we can to go into Gaza. Obviously, we would do that for any people anywhere in the world. But when there are over 40,000 recorded deaths and possibly 100,000 more bodies waiting to be discovered under the rubble, the answer has to be a political one. Why are we still supplying arms to Israel, knowing full well that those arms, in contravention of ICJ rulings, are actually being used to bomb civilian targets in Gaza? War crimes are being committed before our very eyes on our televisions every night. It's up to our government, to show that if it believes in international law, it would halt the supply of weapons to Israel because it knows full well those weapons are being used to destroy human life in breach of all aspects of international humanitarian law.